There's a saying that most of us might have heard growing up, or we do keep hearing it, here and there sometimes, that it gets worse before it gets better. That's a very standard saying. People throw that a lot, very loosely. And I used to think that why does it have to get worse? And I realized as I experienced life myself, that's the paradoxical nature of life. The reason it gets worse is because we are used to being a certain way, and then we are changing into a different version, which is also a certain version. And when we are repeatedly choosing that version, when we are repeatedly choosing that reality, obviously there is some form of resistance that we feel, and that resistance is the discomfort, which is what people's version of it gets worse before it gets better looks like. But it gets better, and it does get better. Given that you repeatedly make something a habit, it does get better without a doubt. But yesterday, a thought struck me after I recorded my last video, that it gets worse before it gets better, so allow it to get better. And I feel like this one thing was truly so profound to me that immediately I was just so fired up, and I was like, I have to record it right now. I just have to record it right now. But I didn't, because I was so exhausted. It was already 12 a.m. and I pretty much just went down a doom scrolling this thing and end up going to bed at 4 a.m. But that's fucking disappointing. But I'm recording it now, not as fired up, but of course, I know what I have to talk about. This is something I've observed in myself a lot, that when I suffer through something, and I know that, okay, the suffering portion is over and now things are starting to look up, it is going to get better. But I feel like I just get so exhausted by the suffering, by that discomfort, that is the exact moment that I tend to give up. I tend to stop being consistent in whatever I'm being consistent. And I feel like that is where I realized last year in 2025 that, oh, this is where I have to keep going, because this is where I tend to stop, which is why I don't get results. The simplest example that I can give is that a person is trying to go to the gym, right? Now, we know that it takes a lot of time to see definition on your body. Could take up to 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, depends on the person and their body. We know that when we start working out, our muscles are sore, therefore it just hurts. And it hurts a lot. It hurts for a while, for a few days, a week or two at most. But then it stops hurting because your body gets accustomed to it. Now, what happens is that you go to the gym, your body is not hurting anymore. You're kind of in an acceptance state that, yeah, my body doesn't hurt, but I also kind of don't like going to the gym. And now you're like, okay, the body isn't hurting, but at the same time, I'm not seeing results. And I've already overcome that discomfort of my body not hurting, and I'm exhausted. So this person in a hypothetical situation, they stop. That's the exact point they are supposed to keep going. They might not see definition today. Today could be day 30. If they don't go up to day 60, day 90, day 120, they will never know if they could have truly achieved it. They are capable, but they weren't willing enough, because that discomfort exhausted them, which is okay. But you can do it exhausted. Everyone can do it exhausted. I'm not saying that literally just burn yourself out to a point of no return. Rest, recover, get back. Quitting is just another word for not doing what you're supposed to do. So, point is, it gets worse before it gets better. So let it get better. How do you allow it to get better? By continuing to do the things you're supposed to do. Consistency, not stopping. Every day in my life, I just want to stop doing whatever I'm doing. But I don't. I do it anyway. I say anyway, even though there is no hindrance. I am not incapable. Sometimes, on some days, I'm not willing, but I do it because I can. I do it because I can. That's the only way I'll build the habit to continue doing it, to make it my identity. You are the common denominator. Either you let things happen or you don't. That's how it is.